Ladies and gentlemen, tuning in to you live, I now present Muddy Flows. And this is how we go. Cheers.
Man, this ain't even fair.
Hello. This is what we got. Welcome to A Mud's Life, a day in the podcast. I've been thinking that you might make my best friend list. I don't know.
Man, this ain't even fair.
This is seeming so different than I was dreaming it would have went. It ain't always gonna go the way you hope, but I know that it is alright, it is okay, and this is the way we came to live. I said it is alright, and
Man,
it
this
is
ain't even fair.
okay, 'cause this is the way that we came to live. I came to do the most amazing things, but I know I got a lot that I gotta learn and work on. But I still feel like nothing phases me, like when I was a baby, looking at the world with open eyes. And now
Man,
I'm
this ain't even
molded
fair.
to think that I know it goes something like this, but I know that I don't have what you want, and I won't let you get the best of me. Yeah.
Man, this ain't even
Something
fair.
has got me feeling like I just wanna see something different than I had. Sometimes I've been tripping out of my mind, and this is the way that it is gonna go. You know, and I know that we can't go. Sometimes
Man, this ain't even fair.
I've been feeling like I'm alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. That was garbage. Shout out to Fairweather. I just leased a couple beats from him, and then I downloaded a bunch of ones for free so I can work on. So you hear that tag that goes, I thought it was gonna come in. I was wrong. I gotta learn how I could rock the wave. I gotta learn how I could hold the funk. I gotta learn more than I have learned, 'cause I got a long way to go. Though I know I've come a long way so far, I know that I got some more that I got to get done, and that is the hardest job. So that's for where you gotta go. Cypher, decipher, and I'd like to ride this wave, bringing it up on a high note. I'm gonna try to go, even though I'm insane. Hearing that little key helps me feel like I might achieve. I've just been off all day. Maybe I'm not gonna be on, not gonna get what I want, not gonna go where I need to go. You've been telling me so many different things. I don't know why these people want to bicker, then they want to do nothing but hear me sing. I'm really not on it though. If I'm being honest, I won't drag it on any longer. I wanna sing a song, do y'all wanna sing along? Y'all wanna tell me how we'll figure out how we could right all of the wrongs we made, living here under life, trying to make ends meet. No, I wanna do better than that, than this, than I have. I can't hit those notes sometimes, you know. And I want to go, I got to go, I got to do. Tell the truth, yeah. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, but goodbye. You know what? How about we try something a little bit different? You know what I'm talking about? I think you might know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. You will find out. It's the meat and the potatoes right here. So, I just want to start off by saying I hope everybody's doing alright, you know? Because, sometimes we just need a little boost. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a pick-me-up. A little bit of a check. Hey, how are you doing? Check it out. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Funk Soul Brother. To check it out now, Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. I don't think this thing is charged. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is A Mud's Life here, where you guys have just tuned in now to Tuned In. You just tuned in to Tuned In here on Soft Talk FM, hosted by A Mud's Life, a day in the podcast. And I would like to help you figure out who you are, because I myself am still trying to figure out who I am. And together we could achieve the unbelievable, the previously thought to be unachievable. And guess what? We just fucking proved it. We just showed you it can be done. Because guess what? We done damn did it. If you don't believe me, stay tuned. You soon will see. We're all just figuring this out as we go, right? I mean, you know, that's just life. That's the way things go. You know, we got highs, we got lows, ups and downs, the kit and caboodle. Like, you really don't understand until you figure it out. So guess what? Here I am trying to help you help yourself, so you could help somebody else help themselves, and on we shall go. Because, hey, we're supposed to be in it together, right? You know, we're supposed to be the species on this planet with consciousness enough to help the whole planet as a whole. You know, I think, though, maybe the planet itself is more conscious than we think. And maybe some of the other animals on this planet are more conscious than we think. Maybe they're doing it right. Squirrels ain't paying no motherfucking taxes, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I know they don't necessarily got it easy. They gotta harvest a bunch of nuts and acorns, stuff them in their mouths, and climb up the tree. They gotta hide from the fox, you know, cat, and yeah, you know, they gotta find a place to hide all these nuts and acorns, and then they gotta wait out the cold, you know. They gotta hope they find enough. But the interesting thing is they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It's like it's just built into them. Whereas us humans, with all this consciousness, right? Consciousness? Yeah. It's like we don't know what we're doing necessarily. Kinda, I mean, but it's like, we don't. Like, it's go. There's always that question, am I doing the right thing? What am I supposed to be doing? What do you even want to be doing? A lot of us don't know. Maybe some of us do. Maybe. You know? I don't know. But, it seems like a lot of us just don't know. And then there's obviously the whole narrative, what we're told that we're supposed to be doing and that we're supposed to know. But, I mean, is that really the truth? Is that what we are supposed to be doing? We just, we're born, we go through the education system, we're supposed to meet a spouse and then have a child and get a job and, pay taxes and then die, and that's it. We retire at a specific age. Like, is that the grand, is that why, if there's this great creator, right, made all this, is that why they placed us on this planet to do all that shenanigans? Like, if I'm being honest, I don't believe it is. But, I don't know. Maybe there is too many of us. Who knows? Maybe that's why it's like this, because maybe there really isn't enough resources for everybody to have. So that's why there's all these greedy people that want to harvest and hog up all the resources and then make everybody else work extra hard and pay to have what they need just to survive, when there's a bunch of other people who don't, they don't have the minimum. Like, so that's why it gets so, it's like where we are as Americans, we're here, like even those of us who have nothing have so much more than a lot of the world, and it's kind of hard to fathom. It's like we've gotten very spoiled. We've been, and it's not even like, I can't even blame it's like that's just, our society built it over the course of however many years we've been here. I don't know if it's intentional. Like, there's that quote that says, hard times make strong men make good times, or easy times, and easy times make weak men, and weak men make hard times. And I don't know. I don't fucking know. So are we doomed to keep repeating in this cycle? Or if we're really supposed to learn, right? If we're a species so smart and intelligent, like, we should be able to learn from mistakes, right? You said you're supposed to know your history so you could learn from it. We should be able to learn from shit, right? We should be able to learn from all the history, previous mistakes. How many times do we have to repeat the cycle? Are we really doomed to repeat it? Or can we actually fucking learn so we could break the link in the chain? Break, fucking, I don't know. Like, obviously I don't have the fucking answer, like how we could stop this cycle. Like, right now, you might say, like, in our country that we're, in the weak men stage of the cycle, because, like, we've been handed easy time. So now it's like, oh, like we're weak in the sense that we didn't have to go through, the toughest of shit. I mean, not saying everything's easy, like, but it's been, I guess it's been divided up in a sense. Like for instance, we've been in some wars. I guess it's not the same as, maybe World War II was, when pretty much every man had to go. But we've been into wars, but it's been divided up. Only some people had to fight those wars, so only some people in our country experienced the, hardship of war, when so many others stood home, like, not having any idea. Yeah, we could have opinion on war. Like, I'm not going to get into all that now, but it's like, oh, if you haven't been, like, how could you judge the soldier who just risked everything going? It's like I can't imagine what it was like for, the soldiers who had to see combat, especially, like, even if you didn't, like, you still went through shit, like say you yourself didn't necessarily see any combat or any, but like say you were grown close with people through, your brothers, you become brothers with these people, right? And say some of your brothers happened to go and then they didn't make it, or they came back with trauma, that still spills over to you more than it does for the average, person in our society that didn't go into the army or the military, so yeah, we're divided up that way. Then you got like because only the portion of the society has experienced that stuff. Then we obviously we've went through some times of recessions and stuff. I guess we haven't been yet as deep as the Great Depression. And I'm tuning into you here, December 2022, and yeah, we things have been getting kind of rough right now. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse. It seems like it's still going on a downward trajectory, but hopefully that dips only a little bit worse, because like, people are struggling a lot worse than I am. I'm experiencing it for sure, but I'm holding on, and I'm like not experiencing it like a lot of people, I'm sure. And I'm also very fortunate. I live at home with my parents. My mom, my stepdad works fucking hard. He breaks his ass working. Like he sacrifices his health to work and make money and provide for his family. And it's like, there's people that are like that. It's like he came from a different generation, and actually he came from overseas even. He's from Portugal, grew up on a farm, so he's from a different generation and just a different place and time, and like it's like his lifestyle, how he was raised and grew up, was way different than like even what my own father, anyway, besides all this, it's like, yeah, so it's like, what about our generation now? I feel like we are very divided, and I hate to get all conspirator-wise, but it seems like it's purposeful. We're supposed to be divided. Well, at the same time, in certain ways, yes, I definitely believe we are supposed to be different, but I don't think that means we should be divided. I don't mean just because we're different and meant to be, I think in the grand scheme, like, yes, like, we're supposed to be fucking different. Hell yeah, like, we're supposed to have different opinions, different interests, different feelings, different views and perspectives on things, but I don't think that means we should be divided within these differences. I just think that means, like, we could help shed light on different things. So it's like, oh man, like, even though I don't necessarily feel that way, I like looking at this like this, because it makes me actually tweak up my opinion. Maybe I won't go 100% towards you, but say I was on the Z spectrum and you're on the A spectrum, and now by looking at you on the A, I said I was on the Z, right now I'm looking at you on the A spectrum. I was like, oh man, like, I like the way you think, and now I may be thinking like T or S on the spectrum, and then maybe you vice versa, you're looking at me at Z and you're looking at L or M, or like, I don't know, that's a silly way to describe it. It's not very articulated, but you get the gist, right? I'd say, I don't know, fucking yeah, but fuck. So yeah, I definitely think we're supposed to be different, but I don't think we're supposed to be divided like this. Anyway, yeah, so we got a bunch of people, like, it's like my generation. What am I? I'm a millennial, right? 90s baby, early 90s. It seems like, I see just from people I grew up with, you got some people going away to college that then they, when they got out, they got decent regular jobs, like, like making a living, supporting themselves, maybe not doing fantastic, but hey, You got people working in restaurants. You got people, some people just struggling in general. You know, you got your construction people, unions. It seems like a decent route to go for a male my age now. We might be kind of shifting back to that. It seems like a safe route, you know? It's like you're putting in work, hard working people, you got to respect it. You can make a good amount of money, support you and your family, get benefits. It makes sense to go in that route though, right? That route. Can I say that's the best option for people? I mean, no. I mean, what is the whole follow your dreams mentality? You know, is that even, I know it's in a lot of ways it's not realistic. What are your dreams? Some of us, we don't even necessarily know our dreams. Like, you're tuning into me here. This is Muddy Flows, A Mud's Life a Day in the podcast. If you've been here before, you could obviously tell that I definitely enjoy making music, freestyling. It's funny because I like to write, but I don't do it enough. So that's where the discipline comes in. I should write more and make more songs because I think I'm fucking good at it when I make songs. Sometimes I think I have really good freestyles, but not all the time. It's a fraction of the time. Like if I'm posting this whole thing, the beginning of this whole video here, it was a very subpar freestyle. It wasn't good at all. So I'm like, you know, obviously I'm not always going to hit it with that, but I still enjoy it. Could I say this is my dream? Is this really what I want to go for? Like, I enjoy the process of it. If I'm being honest, I never wanted to think, you know, it's like I don't want to be famous. And I can't fucking be full of myself and say, like, think that, oh, I'm going to be famous from this, you know? I was like, but I guess that's kind of like usually what the goal is. If you want to make money, at least you want to make money doing something like this, you gotta be known, you gotta be, you know. But no, that's really not the route I want to go in, if I'm being honest. I enjoy doing it. I think I just really would love to perform. I think that's really what, you know, I just like to go on stage and perform. Fuck, I might as well just fucking go to the karaoke bar every weekend and be content with that, you know. Maybe I'll go to open mics and make my own music, and that's all I need. Honestly, it probably is. But some of the times I feel like, you know, I could write songs with a good enough message that's really what, you know, that's really the kind of stuff I would like to put out to reach as many people, as the stuff with that solid message, that, you know, heartfelt, like true, like soulful stuff. Like, I'd like to work on my voice too. I never wanted to consider myself a rapper, though most of what I do is rapping, but my voice currently isn't good enough to sing, but I guess I'm a little too prideful to really go all out with that auto-tune wave, but I don't know, maybe that's just the way of today. But I don't know, there's a lot of classic rock artists that I really have a lot of my inspiration stem from, but I'm going off on so many tangents. Where I started this conversation to where I'm at now, it's like, I don't even fucking know. I guess I was saying, like, you know, talking about kids and our, you know, my generation and what we're doing versus, like, you know, where's your dream? Follow your dream. What's your dream? I don't even know, and I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like a lot of us don't know what our dream truly is. So it's hard to say. I think nowadays it's very confusing. The internet, there's so much out there for us to take in. It's very overwhelming and confusing. It's like there's like so many things. Like, I know I hear a lot, like I've been listening to these audiobooks and stuff, and some of it will talk about, you know, to be successful, you got to have a clear goal, right? You got to go after that goal. You have the clear goal. That's the biggest thing. You go after it and focus on that, and then you work towards it. And a lot of them were saying the same thing, where it's like not to get distracted by these other goals. And I know for me, myself, I don't have just one thing I want to go after. But I don't even know what I truly want to go after. And this goes in a lot of things. I could apply this to relationships even. Like I never I have small, like the interest in so many different women, but it's like I obviously don't know which one I actually want to be, so I don't even take that next step. It's like I like this one, that one. Equally, I don't know them enough to really like them deeper. It's like, oh, obviously you gotta get into it to know them deeper. But oh man, should I take that step? Is that a waste of time? Is that the right one to go for? Is that, it's like, oh man, like I don't know, because I'd obviously like to be with the right person for me, It's like, and how do you know this? I think I never wanted to be one who settled for just the closest option or the safe option, It's like, I want someone that tests me, but, both simultaneously matches my energy and personality and also contrasts it. It's like I want someone that's going to bring me to new places, but also want to go to the same places I want to go to, I don't know. It's confusing. So there's that, relationship wise. What about just, goal wise, like occupational wise? I know, a lot of people say, get over that wanting that dream job, that job that you're going to love that doesn't feel like work, because for the most part it doesn't exist. Well, I feel like we've been conditioned to think that way, but I don't know. I got so many thoughts on this, and I'm about to tune this out, but I feel like I'm just getting started, and it's like, man, like where could I go with this? It's like, then it's got me thinking, this would be kind of best case scenario for us where we're going. So AI, right? Artificial intelligence is starting to slowly ramp up. It's like we're seeing, where we are now to 20 years ago. I think we'd be amazed, like where we got, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. And they always say with any sort of technology, and I could imagine it being even more so with artificial intelligence and technology, that it's exponential, so we open up this one door that'll make it so much easier to open up all these other doors. So it's like the inverted pyramid or whatever. It's exponential. You start very small, you open up this little door, and now you could open up 2 more doors, and now you could open up 4 and 8 and 16. It's like it's just exponentially increases what we're capable of doing once we achieve these these steps. And it's getting real scary for a lot of people, right? It's like, oh, what does this mean? What's this going to do? Like, they always talk about how many jobs are going to get put out from artificial intelligence, like warehouse jobs. You're already seeing that shit in a lot of ways, like, right? Like in places like Amazon and stuff, like they have the robots kind of doing a lot of that work now. They're eventually going to be rolling out fucking delivery jobs. I don't know how long that'll take. That's a scary I think even if they had the science down to a T that they know they could do it, I think it's more of a societal shift that will be preventing them from fully automating delivery jobs, because I think a lot of people are going to push back and not feel comfortable about it. And then it's like, who knows? Anyway, so there's all this talk and speculation of how many jobs are going to be getting lost to artificial intelligence. And I don't remember exactly how the quote went, but Stephen Hawking, rest in peace, before he passed away, he had some sort of perspective, quote, on artificial intelligence that was somewhere along the lines of he could see it being very detrimental to society, but the only way he could see it being very beneficial is if it was being used to benefit everyone as a whole, instead of just a few rich people's pockets. Obviously, That's how anything goes. Like, we're in this, especially in America. I'm not going to start completely hating on capitalism, but it definitely created a lot of greed and, monopolization over industries where it's like, oh, yeah, they're just getting bigger and bigger and controlling everything. And now you're seeing it more and more, phasing out small businesses because you just can't compete with the big guys. So it's like, obviously, these bigger companies, the biggest companies in the country, the world even, are going to be the first ones to really start automating everything. And it's like, they're going to spend money into it. So this is where I'm on their side. I understand they're going to spend money, take risk, though I feel like they don't think it's, I don't think when it gets to that aspect, it's going to be a risk because they know, anyway, whatever. It's presumed to be a risk when you spend all this money for something. So you obviously want to make money back, right? You don't want to just make your money back that you spent. You want to make profit from it. It makes sense. I get it that that's the way it's going. But if people weren't so fucking greedy and power hungry, then you would let it get to a point where it's like, all right, I'll make X amount of profit. Once we get to this amount of profit, now it's going to be used to benefit the world. Now, as many jobs as we could get off of the, it's like, for instance, we have to pay, everybody pays taxes. I understand why we have to pay taxes. I think where taxes go wrong is that we don't really know 100% where our taxes go, and there's going into people's pockets and shit. We know that shit exists somehow. So it's like, that's why it sucks. That's like, you pay all these taxes, and it's like, do we really see the benefits? Should we really be paying this much? Like, when we're struggling as it is, you fucking never truly owned your property because if you are down on your luck for a couple years and can't afford your property taxes, then you're gone. You fucking built this house from scratch and lived in it for 30 years and it's not yours anymore. It's like, it's like where I get it and I don't. Like, I get the need to pay taxes. I get, it's like to make society as a whole work, but I get where it's like, I don't know. Some of it just doesn't seem right or fair. Anyway. So I guess where I was going with that was with, them, if people weren't so greedy or power hungry, these companies who, spent all the money to get all this, artificial intelligence automated, these jobs and stuff, once they get to that certain level of profit, right? It's right. You make your money back, then you make your X amount of profit that you want. And then after that, all that extra money, let's just assume that we put that into taxes or something. So instead of the people paying the taxes, the individuals that just lost their fucking jobs, so how are they going to pay it anyway? Now it's like these big companies that are, making boatloads of money. It's like, all right, we don't really need to make any more money because we have enough fucking money. It's like, now we're paying all the taxes for you guys, it's like, and now, instead of people having to worry about working this meaningless job that actually they can't work anymore because the fucking robot's doing it, now they could pursue something that is meaningful to them, something that fills their soul, something that is, I feel like as a species, we're meant to create things, and work on creative things, creative solutions. I feel like even if it starts as something simple, like people are going in forms of art, like drawing, painting, writing, music, like all stuff like that, even if it started like that, and it's like, all right, and we're not even doing it for money at that point, we're just doing it to, like, I get that we can't just sit back and do nothing to pitch into society, right? So it's like, all right, so what if now it got to that point, robots take over most of the basic jobs that people work painfully, you work so fucking hard, sweating your ass off just to pay the bills, and it's hard, and it seems like you never get ahead because it's not easy to work like that. And it's draining. It's mentally, energizingly draining, soulfully draining to do all that shit day in and day out and still not get anywhere and still feel the stress of all the bills and everything that you have to pay, the weight right on you, right? So if that was able to get eliminated, that we don't have to do that, maybe we could do some of it, but it's like we could do 10 hours a week instead of the standard 40 instead of the majority, the people working 2-3 jobs, 60, 80 hours a week just to get by, instead of all that, we could get by on just 10 hours of that kind of stuff. And then say we could focus another 10 or 20, actually focus another 10 or 20 on creative solutions of how to make society run better, how to get along, how to achieve things like world peace. You might want to fucking call me a hippie for that, but come on, wouldn't that be fucking good if we could achieve that? I get that people have differences and shit, and it's like, we're not always going to agree on shit, but deep down in our fucking cores, I know we all want the same shit. Like we want a good life for us and our family. We want, some people might not want to admit it, we want to be fucking happy. A lot of us aren't happy, but I mean, fuck, if you think of yourself as a child, wouldn't you want to be happy? Wouldn't you want your child to be happy? Of course you would. So, so if we didn't have to worry about all this shit, that pretty much, yeah, like I'm going back to the Stephen Hawking's quote. That's where he said it could be beneficial if we use the artificial intelligence to take the load off of society as a whole. I don't remember exactly how the quote went, but that's how I interpreted it, or remember it at least. It went something like that. And unfortunately, it seems very unlikely. It seems like a slim chance that that's how it will be used, because it seems like just greed takes over. It's unfortunate, but that would be an ideal world, like where we're heading in. But besides that, if shit gets tough, like we were saying, like I said before, the quote, hard times make strong men make easy times make weak men. And if we're on the weak men stage, if shit really gets a lot harder right now, it's hard to see where it's gonna end up for us. I don't really know. I don't have the solution. It'd be nice if I did, but no one man could have all that power, right? I think that's another thing that sucks, is we've kind of been trained in society to be so untrustworthy of people. We don't trust people, and it sucks, and it's like everything builds on itself, right? So it's like, I get how we kind of got to this point. I'm kind of like that. I don't trust a lot of shit, a lot of people, but I wish that it wasn't like that. I think we're supposed to like all right, from a like a survival standpoint, like I think it's been, that's hasn't just been from modern day society that we feel this way. This probably been as far back as we as a species goes, that we've been, like conditioned to feel this way, untrustworthy, because I'm sure back, when we were cavemen, there's other tribes, other people coming in and killing your people, raping your women, stealing your food, stealing your stuff. So I'm sure that goes back, and that's why that's built in. That's like a, I don't know. It's like we've evolved to grow, to feel this way. Like, it's like a survival instinct. The survivors, right? The people who went on to survive were people who were, always head on the swivel, like, not trustworthy of shit, because you had to be in order to survive in some ways. You always had to be ready for what might happen. In an ideal society, we don't have to worry about that shit anymore. I think we're far away from that. But in other words, like I'm saying, I don't have the answer, wish I did. Why do I gotta think it's gotta be just me that has the answer? Like, if we were more capable of working with each other, especially working with the people that we don't have similar opinions to, that'd be the perfect way to do it, is to fucking work with the people who have opposing opinions. Like I've said before, wouldn't it be great if instead of fucking one president, or say you have a Democrat president, that you have to have a Republican vice president, vice versa. And, you know, but regardless of that, I feel like the two-party system is stupid. And I feel like people tend to just stick with one party, and I think that's even stupid. I don't even think they fucking believe it, but it's like how you couldn't, like, it's impossible you can believe so you're telling me half the country believes every single thing on this one side, and the other half of the country believes every single thing on that other side, and there's no, like, oh, I believe a little of this and a little of that. Like, come on, it's fucking impractical. So I think ideally it'd be better if, yeah, you had two, like, the vice president is one thing and the regular president is the other thing. Maybe we should probably have fucking 5 of them. Five people working together with differing opinions. You obviously, look, you got to be able to make decisions. You can't be bickering around a table arguing about shit forever, but you got to be able to make a decision to get shit done, especially in times that it's time sensitive, you know. But I don't know, like, in other words, like, yeah, I think we should be working together a lot more than we are, and we should especially be working together with people who have such different perspectives and opinions from us that yeah, it's like, I don't know. I personally just think that's the best way we could grow as a society, as a species, as a whole. Like, you know, forget about just one country, one state, you know. It's like I said before, like, if we're a species that evolves and is capable of growing, and we have this conscious thinking, like, how have we not grown past this tribal mentality? You know, how have we not grown past, like, oh, like, I gotta be, you know, our town's gotta be better than the next town, I gotta be better than the neighbor, you know. It's like we should be able to fucking work together. Look at the goddamn ants. Come on. The ants fucking work together. I know they're, at least seemingly, as far as we know, a very simple species. They just, you know, they have a goal and they fucking work towards it. But I think it's cool that they, you know, they're born and they know exactly what they got to do and they work towards that, and that's it. I mean, all right, I don't want to be exactly like the ants because they're kind of mindless, at least, like I said, as far as we know. Who knows? Maybe they actually are conscious, but no, they work towards the goal together. One ant has its job to fulfill the job of the whole. Yeah, I definitely don't want us to get in that robotic form. But fuck, if we're at this point, this breaking point of technology, if we could really use that technology to do all of this, you know, this tedious, like, basic forms of work that we have to, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, and just get rid of us as a species having to worry about that shit. It's like, then, you know, it might take a little bit of time for us to shift gears, but I feel like we'd eventually evolve to be better. We'd be like, all right, now we could use our brains to focus on more important things that, you know, because, like, thinking takes up energy, right? So when, you know, I'm not knocking people who have to work these jobs that are not, you know, like, they have to be done, right? They keep society together, the glue. It's the glue of society. Without these jobs, we'd fall apart, right? But all the people that work these jobs, think of how draining it is mentally. Their energy is drained. They come home. They don't. Some people don't have energy to play with their kids or their dog, you know, let alone work on their passion project or think about how to fucking save the world. Like, you know, it's like, so it's like, if we were able to actually eliminate those jobs, like, they need to be done, but, like, you know, AI coming up big, if it was able to take over and then the people were able to relax, you know, ease off the fucking, the tension a little bit and use their mental energy towards something more productive, you know, I don't know. Obviously, this is like, in an ideal world, it would go this way, but, we can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find that you could Get what you need, oh baby, yeah. Alright, that's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. No, why can't we be friends? Why can't we get along? Why are we still fighting? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we get along? Why are we still fighting? Something like that. Anyway, if you've been with me, thank you for tuning in. Mud's Life, a Day in the Podcast here. I am Muddy Flows. And that's the way shit goes. That's the way it is. How can we make changes? If Tupac was still here, he'd probably say, still I see no changes. I cannot blame this on one man individual, but I know as all is residual, cause it keeps going round in cycles. Why the fuck do we not recycle? So we got all this pollution. We got a whole damn continent in the ocean made of trash. Damn. Ain't that some shit? How could we let this last without trying to solve it? If we come home drained, no energy to think. I'm not one to complain, but damn man, that's insane. I am on the brink of giving up, but I'm just still revving up my engine, ready to begin a new path. Alright, it's kind of late. I gotta tune it down. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Mud's Life, Day in the Podcast. Muddy Flows here. I will see you all soon. Thanks for hearing me out. Peace.